Hello children, welcome to AIMS India online class, biology session, respiration, the energy releasing process. So far we have studied about the important concepts related to respiration. Let us continue the process of cellular respiration. Let us recapitulate. The gaseous exchange takes place within the lungs by diffusion from the alveoli to blood capillaries and vice versa. What is the meaning? As the air from the external nostrils, nasal cavities, then pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, and finally reach the alveolus. Alveoli is the plural, alveolus is the singular, or air sacs, which is richly supplied with the blood capillaries, where the exchange of gases takes place between the blood and the air. The carbon dioxide in the blood is exchanged for oxygen in the alveoli. Okay, means it is a diffusion process where the oxygen combines with the blood and the carbon dioxide leaves the blood. Okay, so these tiny air sacs in the lungs are numerous and only one cell thick. They are surrounded by the capillaries that are also only one cell thick. One cell thick. So the blood, dark red in color, flows from the heart through these capillaries and collects the oxygen from the alveoli. At the same time, the carbon dioxide passes out of the capillaries into the alveoli. So here, this is the alveoli, alveolus, bronchioles. Bronchioles opens into the alveolus. If you see the alveolus, it is richly supplied with the blood capillaries with the one cell thick. Alveolus is also one cell thick. So here the concentration of carbon dioxide is more in the blood, so it leaves the blood. Concentration of oxygen is less in the blood, so it combines with the blood. So these blood cells RBC carry this oxygen. Okay, this is the path, diffusion path of way for the gaseous exchange between the lung and the blood capillaries. Okay children, this we already studied, and we also entered the cellular respiration. It is a small parcel of chemical energy. The energy currency of these cells is ATP, an energy rich compound that is capable of supplying energy wherever needed within the cell. Means during this cellular respiration, the energy is produced in the form of ATP. It is the energy currency, chemical energy. Each ATP molecule gives 7,200 calories of energy. How much energy is produced when one ATP molecule is hydrolyzed? 720 calories of energy, or 7.2 kilocalories of energy is produced. So this energy is stored in the form of phosphate bond. In the bond, if the bond is broken, the stored energy is released. Okay, so here ATP, for example, this is the ATP molecule. It consists of 3 phosphates like this, the 1, 2, the second phosphate, and the third phosphate. So always the energy present in the terminal phosphate, okay, it is hydrolyzed, means break to release the energy. How much energy is produced when one ATP molecule is hydrolyzed? 7,200 calories of energy is produced. This energy is stored in the form of the phosphate bond. So this is the bond. When this bond is broken, the energy present in this phosphate is released. Okay, so this energy, if the bond is broken, the stored energy is released. So the cellular respiration can be studied under two headings. Under these headings, that is, first one is glycolysis. Breakdown of glucose takes place where pyruvate is produced, and this pyruvate or pyruvic acid, if oxygen is available, it undergo complete oxidation, that is called aerobic respiration, where this pyruvate breaks down into carbon dioxide and water, and a huge amount of energy is produced. Whereas if the oxygen is not available, it undergoes anaerobic respiration or fermentation. During anaerobic respiration, in the absence of oxygen, the pyruvic acid breaks into lactic acid and a small amount of energy is produced. For example, turning of milk into curd, it is an anaerobic respiration where the lactic acid bacteria converts milk into curd. And in the muscles also, when the muscles are stressed, where the oxygen is not available, it also undergo the anaerobic respiration and lactic acid is produced, by which we can get the fatigue. Okay. Whereas in the fermentation, in the absence of oxygen, glucose is converted to ethyl alcohol. Okay. This process is called fermentation. It takes place in the presence of yeast, unicellular fungi. Okay. So the glucose is the most commonly used sugar for deriving energy in plants as well as animals, and even in the microorganisms. In all these organisms, the glucose is oxidized in two stages. In the first stage, it is converted into two molecules of pyruvic acid. This is the first stage. Okay, this is the stage 1. And in the stage 2, this is the stage 2. Okay. In two stages, in the first stage, glucose is converted into two molecules of pyruvic acid. In the second stage, if oxygen is available, the pyruvic acid is oxidized to carbon dioxide and water. This is aerobic respiration. Large amount of energy is released. If the oxygen is inadequate or low, if the oxygen is low or not utilized, then the pyruvic acid is converted into either ethanol or lactic acid. Ethanol or lactic acid, and very little amount of energy, nearly 1/10 of the energy with which is produced in the aerobic respiration, means very less. Okay. Now, can the energy is released without oxygen, children? After undergoing the strenuous exercises, the energy is released, but only small amount. Okay, once again, the glucose is the most commonly used sugar for deriving the energy in plants and animals and in microorganisms. In all these organisms, the glucose is oxidized in two stages. What is that? The first stage is converted to two molecules of pyruvic acid. The second stage, oxygen is available, the pyruvic acid is oxidized to carbon dioxide and water. Large amount of energy is released. If the oxygen is inadequate or not utilized, the pyruvic acid is converted into either ethanol or lactic acid, and very little amount of energy is produced. Okay. Next, so after undergoing the strenuous exercise, can energy be released without oxygen? After undergoing the strenuous stress exercise, we feel pain in the muscles. Does adequate oxygen reach the muscles? what is being formed in the muscles? Okay, answer for these two questions. After undergoing the strenuous exercise, we feel pain in the muscles. Does adequate oxygen reach the muscles? No. That's the reason why. What is being formed in the muscles? The lactic acid is formed. Anaerobic respiration takes place. In order to function the muscles continuously or actively, energy must be produced. The energy is produced when it undergo the respiration. When the respiration occur, if oxygen is available. So continuous stress or heavy exercise for a long time will lead to the muscle fatigue. When you sprint 100 yards, means when you run 100 yards, you do a considerable amount of muscular work, but you do not start a race by standing on the track and panting for a few minutes to stoke up with oxygen first. In fact, you can run the race with very little extra breathing. Okay, so here this happens because the oxygen is not available. Okay, the fastest sprinter means runner. For example, here an athlete Malka Singh. Okay, he is a gold medalist from India in running. Okay, he what is it's showing? He is breathing with the mouth also while running, because more oxygen is required. So it need a practice. It need a lot of work. Muscular work is required. Fitness is required, because the oxygen availability is not free, because continuously the muscles work, they become weak, they get stressed. Okay, so how they cope up? The fastest sprinter do not breathe at all when running 100 yards. That is the practice. So after you have reached the destiny, however, you feel very difficult. So after reaching the destiny, they will bend their head, a lot of sweat, and they open their mouth also for the breathing. Okay, they take air through mouth also. Depending on your state of training and on how hard you run, you will pant for some minutes after the race until your breathing gradually returns to normal. Okay, you will take some rest. These facts could be linked up with what we have learned so far about ATP. What is ATP? ATP is the energy. It might be that the race was run on the energy produced when the ATP already present in your muscles was being converted to ADP. Okay, as we discussed already, the ATP which is already present, because it is a biological system, continuously the ATP generation takes place in the process of cellular respiration. So whenever the energy is required, this ATP undergo the hydrolysis and produce ADP and phosphate. ADP and inorganic phosphate. This inorganic phosphate is the where energy is embedded. In this inorganic phosphate, the energy is embedded. So when the bond is broken, then the energy, nearly 7.2 kilocalories of energy is produced. Okay, so this is the what we have discussed. Okay, the ATP already present in your muscles was being converted to ADP like this, and the energy is produced. So unfortunately, this pleasantly simple idea is inadequate because we only carry sufficient ATP in a muscle to last for about half a second when doing vigorous exercise. Okay, that's the reason why it's need a lot of training. There must be some other explanation for the way in which we can produce energy first and then use up oxygen later. Okay, so lot of experiments were conducted to understand this concept. Okay, let us go through this experiment. Cellular respiration. There must be some other explanation for the way in which we can produce energy first and then use up oxygen later. One approach, okay, one approach in the study of this problem was to analyze the blood of a person during and after exercise, means at the time of exercise and after exercise. For obvious reason, the athlete taking part in the experiment had to stay still where the apparatus was. Okay, there are some certain type of exercises are there. Now, staying at home and doing exercise in a closed room, there is one bicycle will be there, fixed bicycle, riding on that, pedaling, yes, such type of exercise, so that we can measure. He pedaled a stationary bicycle or ran on a treadmill you might have seen. Okay, the belt moving as fast backwards as the athlete moves forward. So reading will be there. Okay, workouts. And on a treadmill, some results are shown in the graph here beside. Some results are shown in the graph. The vigorous exercise lasted for 9 minutes, shown by the bar at the base of the diagram. At the base of the diagram, graph showing the effects of vigorous exercise on the concentration of lactic acid in the blood. Okay, here what we are doing, we are going to measure the amount of lactic acid and the time taken. Okay, some results are shown in the graph. The vigorous exercise lasted for 9 minutes and shown by the bar at the base of the diagram, and the regular blood samples were taken and analyzed. So here let us understand one particular compound in the blood. What is that? Lactic acid. We are going to measure about the lactic acid was found to greatly in its concentration, as you can see from the graph here, starting the 0. Okay, here the amount of lactic acid on the y-axis, here the time. Okay, so on the x-axis time is mentioned, on the y-axis concentration of lactic acid in blood per milligram per centimeter cube. Okay, milligram per centimeter cube. So here, what is that chemical compound present in the blood? Lactic acid. Lactic acid was found to be vary greatly in its concentration. See here, it is not same. Here less, increased, again started decreasing. Okay, so observe the graph. of lactic acid accumulation in the muscles of an athlete and answer the following questions. So the graph shown varying the amount of lactic acid in the muscles. What is in the x-axis? So this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. On y-axis, the concentration of lactic acid in the blood is measured. On x-axis, the time in minutes, 0 to 60 minutes. So try to answer these questions, children. What was the concentration of lactic acid in the blood to start with? The concentration of lactic acid, first A, okay, it is 20. Now, what was the greatest concentration reached during experiment? So it is 100 maximum. If the trend between C and D were to continue, C and D were continue at the same rate, how long might it take for the original lactic acid level to be reached again? Okay, here the line extend CD until it reaches the standard starting value. So you have to extend this. Okay, how much time it is required? So nearly 1 hour. What does the high level of lactic acid indicate about the condition of respiration? Means the lactic acid level increases, the accumulation of lactic acid results in the muscle pain. So immediate rest and availability of oxygen is required. Okay. So when this is compared with the normal, the person who is at rest, the lactic acid level will be very less, that is 20, the normal state. Okay. So continuous stress will increase the lactic acid in the, that's the reason why after yoga or after any exercise, immediately they will take rest for few minutes to become normal. So here the accumulation of lactic acid results in the muscular pain. If we take a walk, normal walk or brisk walk or slow jogging, running for same distance, we feel that there an increase in the pain levels. This is because of lactic acid accumulation. Okay. It seems as if the lactic acid was being produced rapidly by the active muscles and then only the gradually removed from the blood after exercise. Okay. So continuously lactic acid is produced during exercise and gradually it will be removed. Okay. What is surprising is that the athlete needs a great length of time to recover. The simplest explanation we can produce at this stage is that the sugar in the working muscles was being changed to lactic acid. So generally what happened, that sugar or glucose is converted to carbon dioxide and water in the presence of oxygen and produce the energy. Okay, that is normal respiration. But in the athletes, what is happening due to continuous stress, that glucose is converted to lactic acid. Instead of carbon dioxide and water, it is converted to lactic acid and less amount of energy is produced. That's the reason why these athletes will take more glucose in the breaks so that the energy, instant energy is produced, because the glucose absorbs into the blood directly and combines with oxygen and release the energy. Okay. The energy stored in the lactic acid molecules is less than that in the sugar molecules, and if the acid comes from the sugar, then the energy released could be used to rebuild ATP from ADP and phosphate. Okay. So here what is happening? Again that ADP reverse process. ADP is converted to, this is called phosphorylation. ADP plus inorganic phosphate. ADP plus inorganic phosphate gives rise to ATP. Okay, continuously this process takes place during respiration. So once again, whenever required, this ATP is converted to, so this is a reversible process. Okay, when energy is required, ATP is converted to ADP, and the inorganic phosphate is released. The bonds of the phosphate break to release the energy, that is 7200 calories. Rebuild of ATP takes place by the addition of phosphate, that is called phosphorylation, which takes place during the cellular respiration. Okay. Next, so this during a 100 meters race, for example, a well trained athlete can hold his breath all the time. It is not until afterwards that he pants. Okay. In this case, the muscles are using the energy released during the anaerobic breakdown of glucose, that is lactic acid is formed. So it is not until afterwards that the athlete obtains the oxygen needed in order to remove the lactic acid. Therefore, when we undertake the strenuous exercise, we build up what is called an oxygen debit, which has to be repaid later. Okay, in a longer race, the athletes have to breathe all the time, so some lactic acid is removed while they are running, and they can go on for longer before becoming exhausted. So that's the reason why they will run rhythmically. The presence of lactic acid in the blood is the main cause of muscle fatigue. So but if the body is rested for long enough, the tiredness goes. So regular practice, okay, and the slow and steadily they can win the race because of regular practice. Okay, so here in this video we have studied about the anaerobic respiration. More about the anaerobic respiration, the next class we are going to study. Here the anaerobic respiration, how the lactic acid is formed. If the oxygen is not available, the pyruvic acid is converted to lactic acid instead of converting into carbon dioxide and water. Okay, okay children, keep reading the textbook and clarify the doubts with the regular teacher available, or else repeatedly watch the videos. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for receiving latest updates.